Muslims in Nigeria are calling for the head of a young man. His name is Danny on Twitter. He had said provocative statements against Islam. He had insulted Prophet Muhammad. He has crossed the red line and he needs to be dealt with. And we all know what happens to people that insult Prophet Muhammad. Look at Deborah and look at a deeper life woman in Abuja. They were accused one way or the other of insulting Islam or the Prophet. And what happened? These people were killed. We were given jungle justice. This young man, Danny, has been denigrating Christians for a very long time. He now added to the list Muslims. And he insulted the Prophet, Prophet Muhammad. He read a part of the Hadith. You know, we have the Quran, we have the Hadith. Hadith explains the Quran in a way. And he saw something which he brought out to the public, that Prophet Muhammad married a 6-year-old and consummated at 9. And in the eyes of everybody, like in our society today, that is underage marriage. Then he was asking a question, why would the Prophet go through such process of getting married when there are so many people that he should have gotten married to? So the explanation from some people and some research I did, that in those days they could consummate a union at that kind of age, 6, 7, 8, 9. That was the excuse. But coming to it now, in our world today, this 21st century, moving to the 22nd century, you see that it becomes an abomination. So thereby, the young man said that Prophet Muhammad, he started calling Prophet Muhammad names such as pedophile and rapist. How would he get involved with a young girl of 6 years or whatever? There are so many other accounts about Prophet Muhammad that people are debating day in, day out. But the Muslims are saying, if you cross the red line, crossing this red line, you're asking for a punishment that is more severe than death. So there is one religion in Nigeria that is much more above the law. There's a religion that people, they will jettison the law of the land, the 1999 constitution, and they prefer to obey that religion than the law. Is there anywhere in the 1999 constitution that says if you insult Muhammad, you have committed a crime? If not the religion, Islam. Has anyone been prosecuted according to constitution? If not Sharia courts, or they gave provision for your practicing your religion in the constitution, but there's no outright statement condemning anybody that insults anybody. Anybody, whether it's the president, whether it's the chief of army staff, whoever. Nobody commits a crime by insulting anybody. But under Muslim laws, the most peaceful religion on earth, if you insult Muhammad, there are people that are willing to come to kill you, to delete you out of the earth because you open your mouth and insulted Muhammad. So this young man called Danny on Twitter insulted the Muslimah by calling out Muhammad. I did some research. I was keen about information on Islam because I wanted to understand what these people are saying about Muhammad. Let me use my eyes, 2 eyes, read it and try to understand some of the things that are happening in the Quran. Most times I listen to a man called Christian Prince on YouTube. This man, he debates with sheikhs and he says all sort of things. From then, I learned a lot about Islam. You see, no offense, one of the reasons why the Igbos would not want to accept Islam into our society is because of the approach of the worshippers of Islam, the approach to issues, the approach to conversations. Because in our world today, you don't, because somebody insulted the prophet, you not take an extra step to threaten the life of that person. It is logical for us to say, if you are serving a supreme being, that supreme being is supposed to defend itself. That supreme being is supposed to fight for itself. But when in turn the people fight, the people defend their God, it looks awkward. Many people will say, you don't understand Islam. You don't understand this. You can never have the capacity or capability to understand why we believe in this, why we believe in that. Another question was being asked about the 72 virgins. You see, not all Muslims have different sects, and there's a disparity in what they believe in. We have the Shiite, we have the Sunni. So, 72 virgins being preached by some sects in Islam, that if you defend the faith, you kill for Allah, you are going to be given 270 virgins. So your reward for that act, for killing, for doing all sorts, for defending Islam, your reward in quotes is 72 virgins. So you are going to be having sex, you are going to be having a lot of sex in heaven or Al-Jannah, if I'm correct. You see, I like conversations. Conversations might offend you and I, but we need to be able to be critical with our conversations. I've had this conversation with my Muslim friends. I have many Muslim friends. I will never want to insult Prophet Muhammad, because I know that that is their belief system. That is what they believe. But we will never be in the same boat, because our belief system, they are different. That is the 72 virgins is the reward for men. What of women? What is the reward for women that fight and defend for the faith? If you ask an average Muslim, okay, we have fanatics, we have moderate Muslim. You see, one thing why I see Muslim as one and the same, there's nobody that is moderate, there's nobody that is fanatics, is because when the fanatics start killing in the name of Allah, the moderate keep quiet. They support you with keeping silent. When these fanatics, radical Islamists, carry out attacks and start killing, the moderate Muslim keep quiet. When you start attacking the religion, that is when the moderate Muslim will come out and start defending. So that's why I see each one of them, they are the same. Both the radical Islamists and both the so-called moderate Muslims. Questions. What will the women benefit when they defend Islam? This guy asked this question and nobody was able to give an answer. You see, one thing I don't like about some people is that they don't explain to you. You ask a question about Islam. Instead of somebody explaining to you, no, understand it this way. This is how we see it. Even though the way you see it is looking so awkward, but you should come down to explain to people about your religion. Not because somebody asked a critical question. The men that are going to get 72 virgins after they die, what now is the reward of the women? Somebody started reacting, and that person started sending threats. A lot of threats over this young man. The young man lives in London because he questioned religion and the status quo. Somebody, a young man who is a Christian and probably a prophet, he made a prophecy. He said that Kamala Harris was going to be the next the next president of the United States. A young man came out to say such. This boy attacked the young man. The Christian community didn't say anything. Because when we look at fighting for God, we believe God fights for himself. And that's the right thing, sensible, any sensible person will do for religion. You serve a supreme being and he's most powerful. You don't fight for that supreme being. The supreme being fights for you. So this guy has been denigrating Christians. We leave him to God. Most of the things he is saying, most Christians concur with it. Suleiman said it was Kamala Harris that was going to become the president of the United States. Suleiman, Apostle Johnson Suleiman, said the same thing. And what happened? The prophecy he made was untrue. And this young man still had to attack and said all sorts of things about the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Sele, Adeboye, and all the likes. He's against religion. How did the Christians take it? Some people were praying for him. Some people attacked him back with words. Some people told him that he doesn't know what he's doing, while some people saw reason in what he said. But when it comes to the Muslim sect, they take it in a different route. Explain to this guy that in those days, the age, even though I can't confirm that, the age for consummation of marriage is a bit lower. It's of recent that they said 16, 17, 18 years can go into marriage. 18 years can vote. It is of recent that we're pegging that. So this is how you win these young people. Because I know of a shop. Islamic evangelism is either by manipulation, by propaganda, or by force. You can put me in the right direction. How do the North, or how do Islamic fundamentalists carry out their own evangelism in bringing in converting people into Islam? 80% of the time, it is either by manipulation, it's either by force or propaganda. That is just it. If you can say otherwise, I'm trying to be so explanatory today to make you understand why we would, in the Southeast, frown at the religion Islam. We have good Islam, we know. But they are one and the same with the fanatics, because when you allow, it's just like, I don't know how to put this. You still accept this fanaticism, but you're a moderate person. And the fanaticism is spoiling the name of your religion. And you do nothing about it. And you're trying to tell us that, don't say everybody. No. Deal with those fanatics in your midst. Then we can have a conversation. But since that you emotionally, with your silence and your inaction, support fanatics, there's nothing anybody can do. How is it logical for you to say, for killing for Allah, for defending Islam, you get 72 virgins? How logical would a normal human being look at that? Okay, we don't understand the religion. Explain to us. Another question. What will be the reward of women when we talk about the same thing that applies to men? Will women, what will be their reward? I went a long way researching and studying about Islam. Nobody can know everything about Islam. Even the person that wants to attack me now and tell me, what do you know? Focus on what you know. I'm telling you the reasons why we don't want Islam in Biafra land. You are saying that people should respect your beliefs. Why don't you respect mine? You see, the manipulation is so much. With religion, the manipulation across all boards. It is a manipulative tendency of these religious leaders. They use it to put their people in bondage. You threaten somebody because he insulted the Muhammad. No wonder why Israel is finishing off all these Muslim countries. If the person you are going to, you know what about Christianity is that Christianity is tolerant, and the Muslim seems to raise his shoulders with Christians. What if the Ajebodani himself have that mentality you have? Do you think that the world will be a peaceful place? He insults your belief system, because we have so many Muslims that are insulting other people's belief system, whether it is religion or whether it is tribe. It is a belief system. Belief system is belief system, whether it is religion or whether it is tribe. Muslims have been insulting other people's tribe, and which is their culture and belief system. So if you are telling us, don't cross the red line, you don't know why. I don't know why people don't respect other people's culture and belief system. If you want to be half clever, you should know that many Muslims over the years have been insulting other people's belief system, and nobody is threatening violence or threatening to kill them, as they do all over the world. Look at how they are becoming a menace in Europe. You leave your countries that is not palatable for you. They cannot give you social welfare. The development, the economy is bad. You left that country that is practicing Sharia in a full force. The Sharia itself cannot bring development, cannot bring good governance to you. You left that country, went to a place that you're not practicing Sharia, that the country is well okay. You went there and you, with manipulations, lies and everything, you somehow permeated, occupied a place, start voting, county, start getting into the house little by little, until you saw that you have enough people to start, you started demanding Sharia. Sharia that has not profited you in your country. You came and you started scattering things, causing destabilization. Look at what is happening in the north. Zamfara state that embraced Sharia is the most backward state in Nigeria. And these people don't really look at these things. The north is most backward with the opportunities with what Nigeria has given to the north. Because of religion, they are much more backward. Look at what the Sultan is saying. Pray. When they arrested those young people, you people didn't go out to defend your people, your young people. But it's because somebody said something about Muhammad, you are running helter-skelter. Let's make sure. That is when everything you just... The most important things now is how do people see you and your religion. I'm telling you, the more reasons why the Igbos are rejecting Islam in the Southeast. They have looked at it critically. I'm looking at it with you. Let's critically look at it. What benefit would Islam bring to any society, if not impoverishing their mindset, force of religion, and you trample on the rights of people to exist as human beings? Gender-based equality is not there. Muhammad, the most wonderful person alive, you ask them the question, how? They start beating about the bush. They go here. He's this. See, and most of them are educated. You see, when you go to school, they tell you dictatorship, the characteristics of dictatorship. Why they are bringing out the characteristics is to make you understand the advantages and disadvantages of dictatorship. They are trying to make you understand. They don't just say it is dictatorship. Dictatorship is good, whether you like it or not. They come down to your level and explain. That's why you are educated. The educated ones, they don't have enough evidence to back their claims. That's why when I listen to Christian Prince on YouTube, I see how he makes foolish most of the sheikhs and imams. And at the end of the day, because they can't stand an argument, they can't defend anything, they can't make sense with the argument, they start threatening the life of the person that they're having a conversation with. The brother was killed. These guys went, even lawyers, senior advocates of Nigeria, went to defend the killers. Young people went and looted infrastructure and what have you. The northern people played politics with it. People that were criminals, they made sure Tinubu bowed to pressure that they had to give them a phone, a new phone, and 100,000 naira for destabilizing, destroying properties worth billions of naira. And these are the people we share a country with, the mentality with. Arewa Twitter, if he has denigrated, you can go on. Because I know the country we are living in, we can't have a constitution that have a space for Sharia and there's no space for Mosaic law. The system is one-sided. That is why we are saying we are calling for a demolition of this system. I interviewed a lawyer one time. After the interview, the lawyer told me, this constitution, we need to change it. The constitution does not, we need to change it. It's not fair. It's not a fair constitution. Big reasons why Nigeria won't work is the constitution. You have Sharia in the constitution, and also you don't have Mosaic law or the 10 Commandments or Judaism in the constitution. Some people are practicing a certain religion and they are using their mindset to use manipulation, use force, and use lies. Let me give an example. A Muslim comes to a community. I used to use Fulani because they have the same You see, I studied the life of Muhammad, and I studied the life of every fundamental radical Muslim. It is almost the same thing. They come to a place, they pretend for years, they multiply, they laugh with you. Because most times, some of my friends will tell you that their friends that they were with in the north, because of somebody just made a statement, they just change and start killing the Islam guy, the Muslim guy will start killing his friend, because people that they were together for a very long time, the Muslim guy will just change. Your friend will start killing you. That's the mindset. So they will pretend that they are with you. Some of them, they get in. See, Yorubas, that are the people that are causing problem amongst the Yorubas, they are the Arab Yorubas, the Muslim section of Yorubas. Wherever they go, you must know that they are Muslims. You must know that they are meant to foment trouble. So when they grow in size, like what happened in UK, they started putting law. When they came, they didn't come with that intention. They didn't show you. They were not transparent. That's why I say they are manipulating. They don't come. It is when they see that they have gained enough momentum in your community that they can fight you one-on-one. They prefer to war with you. That's what the Fulani is used in conquering the Hausas. That is what Muhammad also, in some of the things I've read about him, used in conquering, in quote, his enemies. So, until we get out of this mindset that we are fighting for our God, or we are killing for our God, and if we kill, he gives us someone should make me understand, because I can't understand. I'm a Christian. I understand when you say there are some things that the Spirit of God needs to reveal to you for you to understand. But this one, there's no spirit that will reveal to you. If you are bringing sexual immorality as a reward, there's much more than what God can give you in aside sex. There are many rewards that God can give you aside sex. Why sex? Why sex? Lastly, answer this question. The women, what will be their reward? If men are going to get 72 virgins, what will be the reward of the women? Shalom.